if I'd be reading off my phone today.
No, we
okay?
have to have our notes on our phone because if not, I will go on a tangent. And my tangents are long.
We're about to get in deep. This is a heated conversation.
But before we get started, officially, I'd like to shout out my girl Julieta.
Hey.
Because last time we recorded, I had lots of lovely hair, and now I have lots of
She said
chop it off for 2026.
You need to-
So if you are in the San Antonio area and you need your hair done, or even in the Valley, because she's traveling between both.
40956.
Yes. Shout out to Julieta, and if you need a hairstylist, hit me up.
So cute on you.
Thank
I
you.
Love it. It makes me want to chop my hair, but not before.
But I was gonna say, not
No.
before the wedding. I completely agree. It's like have all the hairstyle options.
All the options.
And then afterwards, even during the wedding, we could chop it off.
Oh, that's a thought. Oh.
So let's dive in for
Let's
today.
Get into it.
Yes.
Sorry if we get a little heated, but it's going to get real.
It's going to get real. That's what we're here for. Because this is Athlete Life Unfiltered for a reason.
Hey.
But I'm going to start off with asking, have you ever practiced super hard all week and have been super positive about your performance in practice, ready for the game day, and then the game day comes around and you feel automatically defeated before the game, all because of one voice from the stands? This weekend, I watched parents criticize other players but go silent when it was their own. And I kept thinking to myself, do they realize what this is actually doing to themselves and their kids?
As an athlete, I always knew exactly where my parents were. They didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to see them, but I always felt their presence.
Yeah.
And that said something.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another week with us. I'm CiCi.
And I'm Mariza. And this is
Athlete Life Unfiltered. We are diving into the eyes and ears of the stands. Yep. And the pressure that it always causes. When people think about pressure from the stands, they think about the screaming or the yelling. But honestly, it's usually not even that obvious. Or it's the backseat driving. So we've all experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
The sideline coaching, my favorite.
Love it. Everybody thinks they're a coach. Everybody thinks they're a coach.
Yeah. But it's also the body language from the stands. Parents sitting in the corner of the bleachers with their arms crossed with a sour look on their face. It's the comparing kids. Love that. And it's talking about other players and silence whenever their own kid messes up. And the tricky part about it all is most parents don't even think that they're creating pressure. We've normalized it so much in sports that it's almost expected that parents analyze the game, critique other players, and emotionally react to every point. That's just become a norm.
Yeah, it's pretty typical to see the heated rivalries that go on from point to point.
And kids expect a reaction out of their parents. I have younger kids that immediately, after they mess up, they look to their parents. So see a reaction from them. The first thing I do is I'm like,
no,
me. Your eyes on me or the court or your teammates. That's it.
Yeah.
The sideline coaching can just be parents sitting there saying, "Oh, this is just how travel ball is. This is just travel ball.
It's the nature of the game." No.
I know it too. I know the game too.
Yeah.
Or
put me in, coach.
or even like the comparing other kids where it's like, "Oh, competition will make them better." I've had parents say that all the time with certain kids in practices, like, "Oh, I want my daughter practicing with this other kid because it's just gonna make her better."
That's
and
crazy.
I'm like, that's what the parent is thinking, but in reality, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, that kid is completely intimidated and not feeling like they're getting better.
Yeah. It's just like sometimes it feels like you're just kind of taking jabs,
Yeah.
and you don't have room for growth because then they get in their head and they're like, yeah, no, she's better than me, so I can never be the best player on the team.
Exactly.
Mm.
And so you're immediately comparing yourself to the other player. And then even talking about other players, parents being like, oh, we're just keeping it real. We're being realistic. But
That's hard because I feel like when you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just keeping it real. It's like, okay, look in the mirror.
and that's the thing
Look
is
in the
that even
mirror.
in reality, like sports aside, sometimes people being like, I'm just being honest is no, you're being rude.
Yeah. Nobody asked for your opinion.
Like
Nobody wants your opinion. I'm just kidding.
no, but people being like, I'm just being honest for anything. It's just like, no, you're just being rude. You're being mean. There's ways to say honest things. And right now, commentators, parents, people in the stands, family members, their real honesty isn't.
It's hurtful.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be mean.
No.
You can say things in a positive way and you can become a positive reinforcement and positive light.
Exactly. And just because we've normalized it in sports and because it's become so common doesn't mean that it's healthy.
Mm-mm. It's crazy. I've seen parents physically fist fight
Oh God.
on the sidelines, like take people out.
Why?
Like parents. Like I think I saw it was a basketball game and one kid shoved, they were going up for a rebound or going up for a layup, and the kid was trying to block his shot and he shoved him.
Oh.
So then the other kid came back and shoved him.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, one of the dads comes down from the stands and like tries to separate them. The other dad flying in tackles the first dad, took him out. I'm like, that is too much. Crazy.
And there's so many things in that one setting.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is you're showing your kid that that's okay to do.
Yeah. I'm just being passionate for my kid. No.
or the sport alone.
Yeah, I'm just passionate. Calm down, Dad. They were like 7th grade basketball players.
It's like I was gonna bring up like High School Musical.
Yeah.
Where Troy, what's his name? Bolton?
Ma'am.
Burton. Tim Burton.
Yeah. You can
edit that one
roast her in the comments, please.
No, but Troy Bolton, where he doesn't want to play basketball, but his dad is forcing him.
It's okay, Troy.
Yeah, like, but you're living for your parents, and the dad comes down because he's so passionate. You hold so much passion for the sport alone, and it's just like
not the NBA. You're fine.
No, nothing is ever that serious, and like I've learned that in life the hard way for a lot of things. It's like it's not that serious.
Calm down.
And it all gets disguised as being passionate.
Oh, you're so passionate.
Oh, he must really love the game.
Oh yeah.
But yelling instructions isn't just like you saying that you want to help. Like you can't just use that as an excuse. If you're yelling constantly, you're not passionate about it. You just want to give your input.
If you want to help, coach your kid. Do one-on-ones with your kids. See how it helps. Yeah. Become a coach for the club team the next year if you're so good at it.
Not like in a negative way.
Different.
Different, but yes, exactly. And you can't just sit there with the emotional reaction because everybody has so much emotion tied to everything with using it as an excuse of saying, oh, I just care so much. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work that way. And it does not create a positive environment. And the passion that creates fear isn't support. So it's not a positive environment. It's not supportive. It's not healthy. And we'll repeat that throughout the entire episode. It's just not healthy.
And they're feeding off of that. And like you said, it's showing them that that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not, because then we're going to keep going through this cycle in history where people are just so passionate from the sidelines. And it's like, no, let's help your athlete out.
And I get it. I'm passionate about a lot of things.
Yeah, but
I've learned that there's so many ways that you can be passionate about things and not be negative.
Yeah, because then you're creating that fear and that negativity, and it's not supportive.
Or even letting it control your entire life, because man, there's so much in sports that people will use it to have it as their identity and let it be them. Even people that are not even athletes. Like, I love my Texas people, but like Cowboy fans.
Oh, I have no words.
They let it be their whole identity, especially during the football season, NFL season. And it's just like, they get mad, but they're passionate.
We can't talk because we're Eagles fans.
Yeah, but in the Eagles fans alone,
they're the worst. But we're the best because we're passionate.
Go Birds. Go Birds. But I've learned to be passionate in a healthy way. So when parents talk about other players, like I mentioned, it's usually framed as just being honest.
Yeah, it's like when you talk about when you get a kind of like a backhanded compliment. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Or like in Mean Girls, like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful bracelet I've ever seen in my life. It's like, oh my God, I hate that bracelet. Ugliest bracelet I've ever seen.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that. And that is what is happening from the stands. With you saying they shouldn't be on the court. That was a bad play.
I'm just being honest. She couldn't pass today.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. I don't know why they're playing. I don't know why they're in. Man, the kicker can't kick. Why is he playing?
Okay, but as a player whose parents were coaches, did you hear that a lot?
Oh, all the time. Like it was almost like through the grapevine of after the fact, or I was never allowed to have a bad day or a bad game, and God forbid I did, and that was the first thing people jumped on. Well, why is she playing? She shouldn't be out there.
She's the coach's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
I know. I like wish I could hug my little 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old self.
Yeah.
Because no athlete should have to deal with that, in all honesty.
Or hear that. Like, you're just trying to be your best self in the sport that you love to play. I'm having
my best week at practice, and then I woke up and started my period and had a bad morning.
You don't
and a bad day.
You don't know what the player's going through. And
no,
as an adult in the stands, just talking mad mess about a 12-year-old and they're on the court.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're being adults and don't talk mess. Don't bully this poor little child.
Stop with the negativity, with the comments from the stands. Like, stop with the pressure. It creates a toxic environment, and you never know what people are going through. I would hate in the workforce as being a professional if somebody was constantly sitting behind me and being like, why are you messing up?
Oh my God, that reminds me. Remember when we played in New Mexico?
Yeah.
Remember we were playing
when we were in Hobbs?
I think it was Hobbs,
southwestern New Mexico.
Somewhere over there. I'm really bad at geography.
I just remember like going through El Paso and like stopping in El Paso. That was the first time I ever saw a prairie dog.
Oh. I was at that school. But remember we were playing there and they had a row of seats for the student section right behind where we were serving.
Yes.
And then they were like, found our roster online. First, and so the guys, their like student section found our roster online. So started calling us by name, number.
Not just roster.
Like
our
everything.
Social media handles.
And then they started like talking to us. Yeah. And they were like, hey mama, let me be your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. Censored. It was just, and it got in our heads and it was so inappropriate. And then some were like, you ugly. Like, it was so rude. And it got in our heads so bad.
They were like talking about like a girl. I remember one of the girls had a boyfriend and they were like, why are you with him? He's ugly, or you're ugly. He doesn't need to be with you. And just saying like such negative comments. Yeah. And our coach, he was a nice person, so he was just like, just tune it out.
Yeah, shut it out. He
wasn't gonna like
try,
say
but like,
anything. Yeah,
I'm about to serve the ball.
Yeah,
and these guys are right behind me.
They were yelling out like our Snapchat and Instagram handles.
Yeah,
they were like my old one was
they're like Marisa Volleyball 23. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Marisa Volleyball 23? And I'm like, okay, leave me alone.
Because it would be like right as soon as you're about like jumping up to serve, and then
Yeah.
like all you hear is your name being called, and it was like,
Yeah.
what? Especially because like we didn't really have fans there,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't like people were cheering us on.
Yeah, it just made everything so uncomfortable.
Oh my god!
And that's just another example of the emotions and the negativity that comes from the stands.
And what it can cause an athlete during their play.
Yeah, we were so uncomfortable. We had to be escorted to our
No,
locker room.
that was at another
school.
Another school. And that one was a closer gym. And they had like people in the stands that were yelling at us.
They were threatening us.
Yeah.
And
we had to be escorted to the bus.
Mm-hmm. To the bus. Like they were like, grab your stuff. We're not showering here. Let's go.
No.
Yeah.
There was like people on the side of us, security guard. People were like following the bus out.
Yeah. And they were lined up. It was crazy.
It was a crazy time.
Yeah.
And just having to compete in that environment is so stressful.
And that just kind of adds into the fact that confidence kills the game as far as athletes hear everything.
Yeah.
And once you're in their head and you've drug out all of that confidence in them, there's nothing left for them to give.
No.
Going back to our other episode, once you're in that spiral, it's so hard to get out.
Yeah.
And you're already internalizing that by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have hundreds of people, depending on where you're playing or what sport you're playing, so
schools.
Many people just knocking you down.
Yep.
And it gets into your head and it's just game over.
And even for small town kids,
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't realize, if we have people outside of Texas, y'all don't realize how big sports are in small towns.
Mm.
And it is literally people's life. So they will shut down this town just to go to the high school football game. There will be people there that don't even have kids in high school, grandkids in high school. They're just there supporting because they have nothing else to do on a Friday night. And they add fuel to the fire. And it starts to create this, my favorite thing to talk about, psychological impact on these athletes. And the impact that it has starts to create the hyper awareness during a play. They overthink what's about to happen because they don't want to hear like, oh, they're gonna yell at me if I mess up.
Yeah, I need to catch this ball. I need to score this touchdown because they're gonna hate me if I don't catch it, and then I'm just gonna be butterfingers for the rest of my life. Like I
can't make a mistake. They have this fear of making mistakes, and I get it. I've been there. I'm still there. There's little moments where I'm like, I can't mess up. Everybody's gonna hate me, and it's just the little stands in my head.
Well, and like me, in volleyball, I never served in college, and I think I was given one opportunity, and I got in my own head. I was like, okay, don't miss this, don't miss this, don't miss this. This is my one and only shot.
Yeah.
And then even from the side, even my coach was like, hey, don't miss this. This is your one time to shine. And then what did I do? I missed it. But it was like that fear started getting in my head.
Well, and athletes, if they start to play like I'm playing not to make a mistake, that's when the mistakes happen the most.
I love that line. The one, how does it go? It's like, play to win, don't play not to lose.
Yeah.
I love that because that's like talking about how you want to go all in and don't be fearful. You want to win, play to win. Don't play out of fear to not to lose.
Exactly that. Because once you start to freak out internally, mistake. It's a domino effect. Mistake after mistake after mistake. You start to play tight instead of just free.
It's so much fun playing with no pressure. When you just have all of your confidence, nobody's talking, you're just so in the zone and you're having fun and you just say, I'm just going to play. I'm just going to play today. And those are the funnest times.
And I've never had that moment up until I was mid-20s.
Oh, okay.
For the first time ever in my life. And I've been playing volleyball for over 20 years.
Dang. And it was so many people play like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
because
I just feel like you get
this
better when you are having fun.
My anxiety has always been really bad as I've gotten older. And that plays into a part of it with having performance anxiety or even that internal comparison of like, oh, well, I got to be better than her or I got to play up to her. Because all goes back to what's being said at home or in the stands or yelled at me from other people. And people don't realize that that starts to create resentment,
Mm-hmm.
either towards the sport, towards your teammates,
Yeah. Even towards yourself.
towards yourself.
So many people like don't like to talk to their parents after a game because that's all they hear is, "Oh, you should have done this. You should have passed the ball better. Oh my God, what are you doing? Like, why couldn't you get that serve over the net?"
And that's exactly why I tell my young ones now, if your parents are not a safe space immediately after a game, please don't go to them. Take a minute. A minute is not long. So that you can decompress before going and hearing all that negativity. Because love my mom to death, but I could have a bad game. My team could have a bad game. And with my mom being the coach, I heard everything of like, we should have did this. Why didn't we do this? If I would have did this, da, 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 da. Right after the game, immediately, for 2 hours after the game.
Yeah.
Still talking about it, even the next day. I'm just hearing all this. And I start to get all this pressure, even with my mother, where it's like, okay, we got to perform better so that, and I didn't think about this at the time. So it's like me talking and thinking about it now as an adult, looking back, I got to play better so that maybe we make her happy. We don't hear the stress that she has to deal with.
Also, then, and a lot of parents do it where they start talking, why couldn't Sienna pass a ball? Why couldn't she set a ball today? Or, why couldn't the quarterback throw you a touchdown pass? Like, where were their heads? But then that starts creating a resentment towards your teammates and animosity that it starts affecting the chemistry of the team. And it divides each player. Like, oh my God, she was my best friend, but she never passed me the ball and I couldn't get a hit because she never passed it to me. Like, what? And so then you start dividing the team. And that's all from this one comment from the stands.
Or even the parents telling the kid, and I'm going to use our family as an example. If your mom was sitting there telling you like, oh, if Sienna would have just had a better pass, you would have had a better hit.
Yeah.
It's Sienna's fault. Don't worry. You're amazing. You're the star out there. And so whether you thought that in the beginning that it was my fault or whatever, you start to think, oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Sienna's fault.
Yeah.
Maybe I am the best one out there. And then you start, again, you built that resentment towards me now.
Now, I wasn't thinking it.
Right.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But now I'm like, oh, other people see that too. It must be true.
Yeah. And then you go to practice and you're like, you're making mistakes. Like, it's your fault.
You know what I hate is back when I was a club coach, when girls would be like, can you put me in the rotation with so-and-so as my setter? No. Because a good hitter can hit from any set. Yep. And I will say it louder for the girls in the back.
Yep.
A good hitter will hit any type of set. A bad set, a good set, an off set. It doesn't matter.
Let's change that into softball.
Yeah.
If as a batter, can you put the other pitcher in? I hit better off of her.
I thought you were going to be serious here. Yeah.
No, but like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is you play a team sport, you shouldn't have excuses like that.
Even an individual. Can I go in the second heat? Because I can get first in the second heat of track. Can I go on the outside lane because I run faster on the curves?
You should be able to run in all 8 lanes.
You should just be faster. But where do you think they're getting it? It's probably their coach, probably their parents saying, "Oh, you run faster on the curves."
The commentators and the stands.
Yeah.
And when the stands start to feel unsafe, so does the court. So does the field. So does everywhere else that the athlete steps foot on.
Yeah, because then it's like that us versus them kind of energy.
Yeah.
And it's not healthy. It's not safe.
This reminds me a lot of the professional athletes. There's 2 of them that come to mind. They're both really young. I say really young. They're about our age. Naomi Osaka, if I say your name wrong, sorry, I'm so sorry. But Naomi is a tennis player. And she was young to be in the Opens and competing at the French Opens, which is like a really huge tennis match. And one of the youngest in the world. I think she was like top 2 at that time. But she was so young. And to hold all the pressure, not just from the stands, because once you get put in the limelight and the professional light, your stands becomes a lot wider. Your stands become all the people that are in your phone,
Oh yeah. All
on
the
social
TikTok,
media.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
Everywhere,
TV,
the
news, reporters,
commentators. Your stands and the pressure from everything going on becomes wider.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring her up is because she dropped out of a huge event. The entire world was in shock, and she stopped because of mental health. And there could have been a lot of reasons that fell underneath that umbrella of mental health. But I can only imagine the feedback, the impact that she had from everybody having to be a perfectionist for everything. And this is where it plays into. When growing up as an athlete, you are beating yourself up because if you hear other people talking in the stands or talking about you, or your parents coming at you like, you should have played better, you should have did this better, you start to become a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And then you don't do something. You don't do something correctly, and then it immediately breaks that cycle in your brain, and you downfall real quick. Or it's a domino effect. Simone Biles, when she was in the Olympics and she dropped out.
That's a great
mid-Olympics. She prepared for so long. She's done this for so years.
I want to say the zoomies, and that's dumb.
Maybe if she was a track athlete. No, the twisties.
Oh, I was close. Okay. Twisties?
Maybe twirly twisties.
Twisty twirly things?
Tumblies?
We don't know. Please educate us.
I think it is a twisties, but whatever it's called, where she feels like off balance, she can't really feel centered in her body when she's up in the air. She can't really feel where her body's at.
And that was because of the the more of the psychological aspect of it, right?
The mental aspect of continuously training to be the same athlete she was 4 years ago at the other Olympics when she won gold. And it was the pressure of coming back to the Olympics and having the same outcome
or better,
because
they wanted her to be better.
Well,
she had already won gold, and then they were like, be better,
come up with the world record, or like whatever the case may be, or do the jump that nobody's ever done before. Everybody waits for that.
Like the Winter Olympics are happening right now.
Yes.
What's the skater who was gonna do like the squad flip, and then he ended up getting like 8th place. I felt so bad for him, but he was under so much pressure, and even he was like, I was overconfident. The U.S. skier who decided to ski with her torn ACL.
Oh Lord,
I
feel like all of them. After watching some of the sports, I'm like, there is no way that their body can handle all this.
Well, and she too was getting so much pressure, and even she competed with the torn ACL, and then ended up fracturing her other leg. And people were like, "Oh my God, she's gonna make history whether she wins or not." And then she broke her other leg, and people were like, "Oh, she's so dumb. Ankle. Why did she do that?" And I'm like,
yeah,
I am sorry. She just still made history.
Yeah.
If I were in that position, been training my whole life, and I'm at the Olympics, nothing's stopping me.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, honestly, a lot of that, it's crazy because a lot of the athletes from other countries, some of their stories, I'm just like, why are they competing right now?
Yeah.
One figure skater, she has something very similar. She's like a torn, I don't know, ligament somewhere that theoretically you shouldn't be competing. But I guess mentally, it happened like 2 weeks before the Olympics were starting. She's like, "What? Oh, I'm here. I've been training for this for so long. What am I supposed to do? Give it up?
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to compete and do my best that I can do."
But you're still always going to have.
But then everybody's like, "Why is she competing? Or she should have did better. Or
she would have done better. She's hurt. Why didn't she just give the spot to somebody else?" And all this stuff. And it's crazy because where are you watching it from? Your living room, eating a bag of chips?
I know.
Cool.
I was arguing about some of the points with that another country had gotten, and it was just the other day when we were at your house and we went to watch the replays of the French team skaters versus the U.S. team skater performance, and I was like, they deserve. I don't know. They all get 100. I don't know. They all get a ribbon. Yeah, you all get a ribbon because to me, I could never do that. And I know that obviously ice skating is not my sport. But even in volleyball, when I watch professional athletes, and there's little things that I could easily critique and be like, why'd she pass it like that? Why did she do it like that? But my mindset is not on that.
Yeah. You're watching the art, which is what it should be as a spectator, watching the art of the sport. take fold and not critiquing these players, because guess what? You're not out there.
Right.
They are.
Right.
And they're trying to have a fun time living their life, playing the sport that they love.
Yeah. And some of them, it's their job.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody coming to my job telling me what to do.
Exactly.
Why would I want to go to somebody else's job and tell them what to do, even if we do the same job?
Yeah. Well, even on the bigger scale, understand that when you're talking about anybody, somebody's always listening.
Absolutely.
And it really sucks when you're that somebody that they're talking about and your mom is sitting right next to them. How does that feel? And
they're hearing everything. Everybody's listening. Their daughters are listening. Their teammate, their friends. Some people, I've had friends that just come with me, right? They're sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
They're just hearing everything you're saying. And you're not realizing that you're just talking out loud. And maybe sometimes some people are just not realizing that they say things out loud.
Oh, that reminds me of that. I don't know if it was a video or a movie, but I literally almost started crying because it was a cheer squad or a dance squad dancing, and they had this choreographed routine, and they were all going, and there was one girl kind of off to the side, and she was facing off a little bit, and she wasn't hitting her marks, and her dad was sitting in the stands, and he was recording, and the person next to him goes, "What is she doing? Like, she's missing all her marks. Like, why is she up there?" So the dad waited until after everything happened, and he stands up and he shakes the man's hand and he goes, "That is my daughter, and she is blind."
Oh, my heart.
And he walks over to his daughter, gives her flowers, and was like, "Babe, you did so good. I'm so proud of you." And like in the stands, you don't know what people are going through.
And why say something at all?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like that line. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. What happened to that line? Do they still say that line? Are we just that old? Did our parents forget that line?
Yeah. They teach us that line. They practice what you preach.
Like they tell us, "Did I raise you like that?"
Yeah.
Well, no, but now you acting like that, and so why can't I act like that?
Why are you making it okay, and it's not okay for me? You
So
don't want me to do it, so why are you doing it? Practice what you preach, my love. Exactly. This goes back to when, say, for your example, why is she worried about the other kid when she could be worried about her own kid?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see who that person's kid was.
What if her kid was messing up too?
No, she'd be quiet.
Thank you. But no, people have to find something to critique, to commentate
This
on.
is not American Idol. We don't need no judges up in the stand. And it's teaching the athletes that it's okay for all of this to happen when they hear their parents say these things.
Or the mentality of like, my kid's untouchable. My kid doesn't do no wrong. My kid doesn't make mistakes. And if they did, it's not their fault.
Oh.
It's the other person's fault.
Because my kid's perfect.
Accountability is for everyone. Accountability is for everyone, not just one person or everyone else.
And that's on and off the court, I feel like. Take accountability for yourself, your actions. If you're having an off day, take accountability for it.
I feel like that has changed so much with athletes, even in the past just few years alone. And I know from my parents' perspective, it has changed in the past decade with athletes. Nobody's taking accountability for their mistakes or their own craft, finding a blame for something else, finding a blame for it was their fault. I did this because of their fault. I tripped because they got out of line.
Or I hit it in the net because the set wasn't good.
Right.
Well, no, just be like, "Hey, my bad. I'll hit it over next time."
Yeah, if you give that to me again, I know what to do now. But hey, maybe put it here and I'll do better. If not, you adjust.
Yeah, don't shut down.
Athletes have to adjust. Athletes have to adjust.
We should put that on a shirt.
Everything I say, I can put on a shirt.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that my parents, who have been coaching for over 20 years, would say that athletes nowadays just the accountability is not there. And where does it start? It starts at home. It really does. It starts at home, and then it trickles down to the effect of their surroundings. Who are they around? Who are they with? What kind of coaches have they had in the past? And it leads into teaching your athlete that it's okay to dissect other people.
Yeah. Because if I was in high school and I went home after a game and my mom were to talk to me about a teammate, I know I would have been feeling weird, like we said. I would have had to go to school the next day and talk to that person, and I would have been acting so weird, and just been like, oh, my mom like just told me all these things, and now I'm thinking
because
about it.
it sets up a different perspective in your head. You weren't thinking it, and then now you're like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't think of it. I didn't see it that way.
They start to like internalize what they were saying.
You break down the game differently. You're like, I don't remember that part of the game. Okay, let me think.
Yeah. Because when it comes down to it, the athlete is worried about the athlete. At least a good athlete is worried about themselves during the game.
Right.
You're not worried about what she did or what he did or what they did. And you're worried about, okay, I made this mistake. I'm owning it. How do I get better? Let's move on. And I feel like that doesn't translate into the stands. And so now they're dwelling on, oh, we lost 3 points in a row because of this person. That's, coach, what are you doing? Sit her out, bench her. Oh my God, that's so sad. Imagine being that little girl who just got attacked by the other team, 3 points in a row, shanked the ball, then got hit in the face. And then you just hear somebody's parent put her on the bench.
Yeah.
I would immediately start crying.
Or be like with somebody else on the sideline, like there's a chant, and I think it's funny because it like works with any number, but it'll be like, if you want to win, put number 23 in. And it'd be like, all right.
I haven't heard that one. You know which one I hate?
I've heard it like 100 times.
I hate the one that goes, you can't do that. I hate that one.
My girls did that this weekend, and I was like, ew. My little 13s, I was like, that is so mean. But
it
like,
really is so mean.
There's some chance that I've even told my 11s, I was like, nope, we're not doing that. Don't taunt the other kids. Yeah. I don't care if they're doing it to us.
How about you hype yourself up? Hype yourself up. Stop tearing people down. Yes. Same thing goes in the bleachers. Hype them up. Don't tear them down.
Exactly. I mean, the chants come from the bleachers too.
Yeah.
Chants come from the bleachers. Signs come from the bleachers. There are signs where it'll be like, if you want to win, put this number in or whatever. And it's like, okay, there's reasons why certain athletes aren't in. Or from a coach's perspective, I know I have my high school basketball coaches, and they're like, well, number 23 didn't play at all. How come she's your best player? Why is she not playing? And the coach is like, I'm sorry, but you weren't at practice. She hasn't shown up to practice Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. She showed up Thursday with an excuse and was late, and then had a lied excuse for Monday's practice, and then something else Tuesday and Wednesday. Why should I feel obligated to play this girl when she's not putting in the work, but everybody else is?
2 things. 1, if you're playing club sports, it's different than high school sports. High school sports, I feel like everybody needs to play.
That was a high school experience, though.
That's crazy. But club sports, I feel like you're paying to get better, not to play.
In practice, you're paying. I always say you're paying for practice.
Paying for practice. You go to tournaments to play how you practice. So get off your high horse if you're playing or not playing, because if you're not balling out in practice, you're not going to be balling out on the court during the game. And the second thing is, why do people just feel so entitled to things? It's crazy. Like back in my day, my coach was like, if you're not at practice, if you're 5 minutes late to practice, to breakfast, not even practice, if you're 5 minutes late to the breakfast, you're not playing the first set. And guess what? In college, and when you go make it big in life with your sport, your mom and dad aren't going to be there to tell coach, why isn't my daughter playing? Yeah.
Or even kids with like the humble side of things. And, you know, I don't talk to this kid. I don't know this kid. He's a quarterback now for UT, but he comes from what's his last name?
Manning?
There you go.
Okay.
He comes from a family of football players, right? He should be this star athlete because, you know, he was born into it and it's in his blood. And with it being not this past season, but the previous season, and he was second string, and the first string was messing up, immediately people were like, well, why isn't Manning in?
Yeah.
Why isn't he in? He's the better quarterback anyways. He comes from this background. This is who his grandfather is. This is who his uncle is. Why does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. Like, they're not him. They can't play for him.
And what if he's saying, hey, I'm supporting my first string first.
Yeah.
I'm here for when the coach tells me to go in. I'm here for when the coach tells me my time is here. But right now, I'm supporting the first string, and the first string is doing the best that he can.
Yeah, because we're a team.
But we don't see that from the stands. The stands is sitting there, or you're watching from the couch with the kid that didn't go to college.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there and you're yelling about how this kid should play, and it takes over your whole evening and your whole personality and your whole life. And it's like, what is that negativity doing for yourself? And what is that negativity doing for him when he gets on his phone after the game and he starts seeing all these things and he's like, wow, I didn't even think that like I should be in. I would have done better. Sometimes people don't immediately think that. I don't think that if I go in, I'd immediately be better. Maybe I think I can help change the perspective of the game. Maybe.
But I'm not going to win it by myself.
No, we play a team sport for a reason. Team sports are a team. Yeah. There's no I in team for a reason.
But I mean, there's just so much that the parents and the sidelines don't take into consideration as far as what goes on in practice, which we've talked about, right? Are you even coming to practice? Right. Like, what is the dynamic of the team? Like, sometimes, and unfortunately, you've felt the backlash of this on the dynamic of the team. The coach is just trying to put the best players in for the chemistry. And unfortunately, it's not in the interest of each player.
Yep.
Right. And so I feel like that's also an aspect that people on the sidelines don't see, and even the players don't see,
and the
coaches don't see. Yeah.
That's why sometimes I wish I can just give a crash course on my sport is volleyball. So I wish I can get a crash course to parents about volleyball, maybe even with like rule changes and stuff, not just what they read online, but understanding it. Because once you get an understanding, you know a little bit better about coaches' decisions and stuff like that. But for me as a coach, when I pull out players for a quick second, it's either to give that player a break or to put them in for somebody else. But the rules are I have to sit them out for a point, right? But immediately when I take one out, I hear a parent, wow, it's about time. And it's like that player was not messing up. I took her out to put her back in for somebody else than the person that she was originally in for.
And I feel like you go through a lot, and coaches go through a lot.
Absolutely.
With the parents itself. So not only do you have the parents during the game yelling at the court, but then you've got after the game where the parents start going at the coach. First of all, calm down. Okay? Because you're over here just all high and mighty.
Yep.
But your daughter was not the perfect fit for this.
Or the rotation didn't work out the way that, I wanted.
Just take a break.
Changes will be made. And I don't, why can't you just wait to see what happens?
Yeah.
The outcome of everything.
Like, you are paying me to be the coach. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yep.
Pay a different person to be coach, or you be the coach.
Yep.
And see how your cards lie. But that is crazy because my coach in club volleyball back in the day, he told us, I do not want to hear from your parents.
Yep.
If your parents come up to me about your playing time or your position before I've ever even heard communications from you as a player to me, the coach, and your parent comes up to me first, you're not playing the next set. And that was the rule.
I wish I could utilize that rule. Sometimes I just only have some.
Well, yeah. But no, he was dead serious.
Yeah.
If your parent wanted to get involved, he was like, you as a parent need to communicate with your child about what is going on, the circumstances, what they felt they could have done better, or if they felt like they were giving an opportunity to play better. And then if there were something that didn't add up, then y'all go to the coach.
Or even the communication, which we'll touch another time, but the communication between the athlete and the parent. Because sometimes they don't have communication. The parent immediately goes to the coach, and the coach turns to the athlete, because I've been here before, and be like, what did I tell you? What did I express to you about either the position I put you in or the play that I had you do, or why did you come out? Well, because X, Y, and Z reason. And the parent's like, oh, I didn't even realize. I didn't even know. And it's like, yeah,
Talk to your daughter.
Talk to your kid.
Talk to your son. Figure out what's going on before
coming to me, and then encourage your kid to talk before you have anything to say.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like coaches make decisions for the team as a whole, not individually.
Yeah.
And
it's
even
never
for
personal.
me,
It's never personal.
no, well, it shouldn't be, because we'll get into stories. We'll get into stories another time where it has been personal.
Yeah.
But I've had parents that are like, well, my daughter plays better in this other position or this XYZ position. And it's like, I understand that. Maybe that might be her first choice. But with the team and the dynamics and the way that the plays play out and the setter and the passer combination, she hits better in this position. I see that. Her stats show it. Coaches make decisions based off what's best for the team. So you have to see that. If you're comfortable in the middle as a middle hitter, but your senior year, where did the coach see that you felt best?
Coach put me on the right side my senior year in college. And I think that
college at that. You've gone your whole volleyball career playing middle in one position. Not to say you couldn't hit outside.
Yeah, I could. But
right side.
Yeah.
But the coach saw fit better for the team dynamics of who your person is to be a right side hitter.
I think it's crazy when parents come to coaches and they're like, well, my kid plays setter, or my kid plays this. Why isn't she playing this? And I'm like, well, she should be a well-rounded athlete and be able to play all the positions at her age.
I've heard even young girls be like, I only play left back. And I'm like, you're a back row player.
That's not even a position.
Like, you're a back row player. You should know how to play all three back row
defensive specialist.
For a reason. You're a hitter. I've said it before. Some kids can't be setters. Some setters can't be hitters. I get that. But just because you specialize in one sport doesn't mean that you can't be versatile in others.
How many of your athletes play so many other sports? All of them.
All of them. And
how many of y'all have played multiple sports in high school or in college? And you want to become a versatile athlete. Like, that, we're not saying don't do that, but be accepting of change.
And as parents, y'all should encourage that.
Yeah.
I've even had coaches as an adult. My workout coach, he was like, my niece plays volleyball, but she's really good and wants to play basketball at her school, but her school's so big that they specialize in, like, if you play only one sport, you play only one sport. But she's like, I want to try out for a basketball team too. And the coach is like, no.
Wow.
And my coach, who is her uncle, is like, that's crazy to me, because you should want athletes to learn how to play other sports to become versatile athletically.
Yeah.
Not just
they become better athletes.
Not just be a passer in left back. And, that's just hard. If you sat there and you're like, I'm only a quarterback, I only know how to throw a ball. Yeah. Me personally, you'd be like, you should learn how to catch.
Yeah. Just in case.
But let's flip the script, because instead of saying, why is that kid still in? Or that was terrible. Our team could have did better if blah, blah, blah. Because everybody knows that. Let's turn around and flip that train of thought into saying, well, what does the team need right now? Or, hey, let's think about the next play. You still got it.
A positive mentality.
Yeah.
Keeping it positive.
It's hard. I get it. Trust me. And there can be something that ticks you off immediately. That should not give you a right to be negative to other people.
Oh, agree.
And then teach your kids to be negative to other people. And you, again, we said this earlier, but you pay somebody to coach your kid. You pay somebody to teach them in private lessons. Let them.
Trust them.
Trust that they're doing the job. You gave that trust in the beginning. Trust their training.
Let the coach coach.
Let the coach coach. We win and or lose as a team.
Ooh, a team. I really like kind of as an athlete on the court, not feeding off of that negative aspect and flipping it into hyping up my teammates. Like, shake it off. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, next play, next point.
And this even
goes... get the next tackle, like, all of that.
And this even goes into the body language of everything, of how you're showing me. Because I'm trying to teach my young ones and even my older ones, because the body language is is very rough.
Mm.
But if you're telling me like, hey, come on, and you're like looking down, your shoulders are slumped and you're mad, you'd be like, oh, I'll get the next one. The confidence in that is just so low.
Mm-hmm.
Your body language is important just as much as the verbal part of it all.
Yeah, because then you feel like you're losing
Yeah.
the game, and we're actually up like 10 points.
Exactly.
Why are we feeling like this? Are you having fun?
You know? And
like, have fun.
I try to make sure that as being in the coach's role, turn around and ask my athletes, how do you feel?
Mm.
Or how did you think the outcome of today, the tournament, the game, the practice went? Because I try to do it after practices sometimes.
That's a good one.
And as a parent, you should want to do that too before even commenting, other than like, hey, good job. Way to give it your best, or hey, next time we'll come out better. Instead of commenting, of being like, you should have did this, you should have did that. Ask them first, how do you think you played?
Yeah.
Just gotta get their opinion, get their feel. I had one athlete that didn't tell me anything until after the game about like a partner situation. And I was like, if you would have told me that, I would have not yelled at you so much about how you were playing and probably taking you out in certain parts.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't communicated to me ahead of time. I didn't know, so I'm over here thinking you're just doing bad just to do bad, and you don't care because your body language is showing that you don't care. But if I would have known that,
Yeah.
right, if you would have communicated that, even post game, I was glad that she communicated. But from a parent's perspective, post game, ask before you start drilling the
Mhm.
athlete.
Yeah, because those words that you say after that, they matter, right?
Those
And
you
if
remember forever.
exactly, because then you're just a kid and you just, man, I had a rough game. I know I had a rough game. Ugh, my parents are gonna come and drill me now.
Yeah. There would be times where I was quiet after a game because I didn't want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
my mistakes, especially not right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the stuff that like my mom or my dad would say, and it was just like, I can't handle that right now. I don't want to talk about it. And I would just go mute.
You know what I would hate? Like, man, why couldn't you play like her?
Mm-hmm.
That was rough. That's rough to hear. Or if you have like siblings who play the same sport, like, why can't you play like your sister? Why can't you play like your brother? That's rough. So I feel like that's definitely something you should avoid as parents or coaches. Like, I had a coach and they coached me and my sister, and they're like, man, why couldn't you have that same mental toughness as your sister?
Oh,
right? That's just something we should refrain from.
y'all gotta know, as parents and as coaches, y'all are not powerless. Y'all are very powerful.
Super
The
powerful.
words you say are powerful. The actions behind it are super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the saying goes, watch what you say.
Practice what you preach. Watch what you
Practice
say.
Preach.
If it ain't nice, don't say it.
Yes, exactly.
One thing that I wish that parents could understand is we can hear everything on the court. You don't think that we can, or you may not acknowledge that we hear you, but we hear everything. And one thing that I wish that parents understood is that negativity sends us down in that spiral when we hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather reframe that to be a positive outlook, so I can be like, yeah, my parents were at every game and they cheered me on the hardest that they could.
It cheered me and my team on.
Exactly. And I wish parents could understand that you think you're just yelling out into the void and, oh, my kid's never going to hear me. We do. And It's powerful, like Sienna said, and it's deep. And those are some things that we're going to remember for forever.
For a long time. And then if your child never hears you critique them, but hears you critique others, that starts to create a cultural problem. Again, this goes back to what we're feeding our kids. The mental side of it is like, I wasn't thinking the negative, but now you fed me the negative, and now I'm thinking the negative. Your kid will eventually play with another kid again, or against another kid again. So why feed negative energy into one kid just to create animosity? For what? It's not that serious. It really is not that serious to have to create a negative environment.
Create a positive environment. Make them that dog. Give them that dog energy.
Dog energy. I told my little 11 to say, I want to bring the dog out. But start to look at how leaders positive leaders run themselves. Raise your athletes to be leaders, to be a team player, to be that positive person on the court.
That hype man, that loud voice, that positive voice on the team. Because I loved being that person. I don't know if I was that person. I think I was. The time. But my family, when they would go see me in high school, like, they would just like cheer so loud, and it was such a positive force, and it made me cheer so loud on the court. And then I brought that into my teammates and hyped them up. Even if we were down 3-25, I was still hyping everybody up. And that translated into my communication skills into college.
I was going to say, it like transfers into long-term characteristics.
And I think parents should realize that they can be that changing voice.
It starts with you as a parent.
Yeah, they should be like that calm in the chaos.
Your kid is hearing. Your athlete is hearing all that time.
Yeah, they're listening to your voice, even though you think they're not.
Yes. But so if you're an athlete, this episode is not about blaming your parents.
Oh no,
it's about awareness and just seeing yourself, seeing your environment, seeing what's going on around you. So we ask you to challenge yourself, especially you as parents, people that are in the stands, commentators, challenge yourself how to be calm in the chaos, how to be calm when we're down 25-3. Be the reason that your kid feels safe competing on the court, on the field, and ask yourself, is this creating a positive athlete? Or is this just hurting them even more, even long term? What is this doing for them long term?
And I think in general, like just asking our listeners, like, have you ever felt that pressure from the stands? And what was your take on it? Have you ever been the pressure? Like, have you unfortunately been that negative stance on somebody? And how would you have changed it differently and created a more positive outlook for that athlete?
Yeah. Because the stands should never be louder than the standard. So join us next week as we transition into learning how we are going to communicate to each other, to our teammates, and to our family members.
Because communication is key.
Yes.
And you already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and listen wherever you hear your podcasts. And we will see y'all next week on
Athlete Life Unfiltered.
Bye, guys.